Hey everyone.
Today, we are going to show you how we are fixing legginess, yellow leaves, and stunted growth in our seedlings. These are some very common seedling problems, and you're not alone if you're having these problems. We have been lucky in past couple of years, did not face these issues, but this year is a whole different story because we changed our soil growing medium for seedlings. We'll talk about it in more details as we go through this video. And we have an extra tip up our sleeve for tomato seedlings which would lessen your work. We'll discuss it during this video as we reach that section. Before we begin showing how to fix the seedling problems, it is important to know what healthy seedlings look like and what growth rate to expect from them. For healthy seedlings, the color of the leaf should be healthy green, like the one we see outdoors on plants and trees. If it is a special variety which has purple leaves, then of course the color should be a healthy bright purple. The growth rate on seedling should be to see it grow in any possible way in every 7 to 10 days. This could mean slowly showing up or the size of true leaves growing or the size of plant itself growing. Now let us address the common seedling problems one by one. Let us begin with stunted growth. All seeds carry some food source for the plants in it. When a seedling germinates initially, it receives this food from the seed itself. So in the beginning, the seedling may look just right with the perfect colors on the leaf. This food source from the seed will carry the plant for 10 to 15 days. But after that, the plant expects food from external source, which is the soil medium. If the seedling does not show signs of any sort of growth from here on till next 10 days, that means its growth is stunted. Additionally, there may be some discoloration of the bright green leaves. For example, for us they started turning yellow, purple and pale. There are usually two causes of stunted growth. The first one is lack of nitrogen, and all the symptoms that we described so far are typical to this deficiency. Nitrogen is a very important element that plants rely on. The other two are phosphorus and potassium that help in root growth as well as fruit production on the plant. But the overall health, growth, and the greenness of the leaves depend upon nitrogen. How did we miss that? In our case this year, we tried to use only compost as our seed starting mix. We got this compost last fall and we planted turnips in compost. They turned out very nice. We had some great harvest of turnip last fall. Even some of our spinach that overwintered in this compost is healthy and green, so we thought that this compost is perfect for starting seeds too. The compost had good drainage and our seeds germinated healthy with great green leaves. It was only after 15 days we realized that something was not right. So how did we fix this problem? The important thing with seedlings is to identify the problem and take care of it fast enough. We immediately brought this organic Alaska fish emulsifier from Lowe's. We started watering our seedlings with this mixed into water. The bottle here says to use 2 tablespoons of it for 1 gallon of water. But because these are tiny seedlings and we are using this product for the very first time, we decided to dilute it further. So we used 1 teaspoon for 1 gallon of water and used that to water our seedlings. Now once it is applied, how soon should we expect to see the results? The results won't show up immediately. It takes about a week to 10 days for them to show any sign of growth. And here is our example. We want to show you these brassica seedlings which were so stunted, and this footage is from March 24th. And here is the other footage of the same brassica seedlings. These are Napa cabbage seedlings on March 24th, and these are the same seedlings from 4th of April. So you can see that in 10 days the size of these plants grew. There are new leaves which are greener. Now let us look at the second cause of stunted growth, which is that the plant has outgrown its initial pot. For example, for us here we have these pepper plants which of course are suffering from lack of nitrogen, which is why they are so yellow. But we had them in these tiny modules since we started them in February. So they have also outgrown this space, and we knew for past couple of weeks that we have to pot them up, but we couldn't make enough time for that. Let us take one out and look at these roots. The root system is doing great. It is bigger than the plant and ready to spread out. There is no root rot, so that is a good sign. So now, while potting them up, we are going to use the same compost. But this time we are adding organic chicken manure to it to provide nitrogen for these. We are going to pot them up in these 3 inches wide garden pots. These plants will remain in these pots till we transplant them outside. We'll post an update on our Instagram account on these seedlings in a few days. So do find us on Instagram to see how this works out. Now let us look at the next problem, which is the legginess of seedlings. The main reason of legginess is lack of enough light. Keeping seedlings on windowsill won't just do it, especially in winter months. It's worth upgrading to a grow light system. We have covered our grow light system in detail in another video we are linking here. It is an expensive system, so do check it out. Lucky for us, most of our seedlings did not face this problem, except for a few which got pushed to the side under the grow light. So how to deal with this problem? Honestly, there is no fix for this legginess of seedlings. Once you have it, but you can deal with it. The simple solution is to pot up the seedling, and while potting up, bury this long stem in the potting soil as well. In some cases, such as tomatoes, the stem will grow roots out of it. This may not be the case for every plant, but most of the time seedlings do just fine if we bury their stems as well. So here we have these tomato plants, and what I'm going to do is to add the potting mix around these plants. And while I'm doing this is a special tomato tip that I wanted to give. I start my tomato plants in these transparent party cups. I don't fill the cups all the way up. When I start, the soil level is barely an inch or two. The transparent cups allow the light to go in from all directions, and when my seedlings grow up, instead of picking them out and transplanting them into bigger pot, I just add more soil around them. So this way I don't have to do that additional stuff of taking them out carefully and moving them to another pot. So now that I have the stem covered, this leggy stem of this tomato plant will start making more roots, and I'm just going to put this plant under our grow light. The third very common seedling problem is the yellow leaves on our seedlings. Now there are a couple of reasons that this can happen. The first one is lack of nitrogen, and we covered that already. The next two reasons are related to watering. Seedlings turn yellow when they are being overwatered or underwatered. On an average, we find that watering our seedlings from bottom once a week is sufficient. But if you're watering more frequently than that, or your seedlings are sitting in water for very long duration, like a few days, then that could be the cause for root rot and eventually yellow leaves. One quick way to tell if there's a root rot is to gently get plant out of the pot and inspect the roots. If the ends of the root are brown in color instead of white, chances are roots are rotting. Fix this by reducing the frequency of water and checking the moisture level of soil before watering. Now on the other hand, if you're underwatering them, that can cause yellow leaves too. So if you are giving it a few sips of water from the top, the plant still goes under stress. It doesn't have enough water, and that may also cause the yellowing of leaves. There you have it. Let us know in comments if you have any ideas up your sleeves to help these seedling conditions. Thanks for watching.